The next moment, a hideous grinding screech, as of some monstrous machine running without oil, burst from the big telescreen at the end of the room. It was a noise that set one's teeth on edge and bristled the hair at the back of one's neck. The hate had started.
Everything had been different then. Even the names of countries and their shapes on the maps had been different. Airstrip 1, for instance, had not been so called in those days. It had been called England or Britain.
Times, the 3rd of the 12th, 83. Reporting BB Day Order double plus ungood refs, unpersons, rewrite 4 Ys, upsub, anti-filing. With a faint feeling of satisfaction, Winston laid the fourth message aside. It was an intricate and responsible job and had better be dealt with last.
She was standing near a doorway in the wall, under a street that hardly gave any light.
The ideal set up by the party was something huge, terrible and glittering. A world of steel and concrete, of monstrous machines and terrifying weapons, a nation of warriors and fanatics marching forward in perfect unity, all thinking the same thoughts and shouting the same slogans, perpetually working, fighting, triumphing, persecuting. 300 million people, all with the same face.
Winston could see absorption in every line of their bodies. It was obviously some serious piece of news that they were reading. He was a few paces away from them when suddenly the group broke up and 2 of the men were in violent altercation.
So, begin with the question, why does Orwell matter in 2008, 60 years after the text came out? I think it does matter, but I'll use the works of other people to suggest why. And firstly, the fact that these recent texts have come out, other academics, other thinkers, and the general public seem to think that Orwell still has something to say to us in 2008.
As she came nearer, he saw that her right arm was in a sling, not noticeable at a distance because it was of the same colour as her overalls. Probably she'd crushed her hand while swinging around one of the big kaleidoscopes on which the plots of novels were roughed in.
They were brown, he noted, a rather light shade of brown, with dark lashes.
I am usually at home in the evenings, he said. If not, my servant will give you the dictionary.
Winston's heart was thumping so hard that he doubted whether he would be able to speak. They had done it. They had done it at last, was all he could think. It had been a rash act to come here at all, and sheer folly to arrive together, though it was true that they had come by different routes and only met on O'Brien's doorstep. But merely to walk into such a place needed an effort of the nerve. It was only on very rare occasions that one saw inside the dwelling places of the inner party.
Question 4. What is Winston Smith's greatest fear? Rats. Rats? Going well here, right? Question 5. When Winston and Julia first meet, she's wearing the sash of the Junior Anti-Sex League. My brother had the Anti-Girls Club. And they all got girlfriends and he was left high and dry. Anti-Sex League. What colour is the sash? Red. Scarlet. Red. Scarlet. Question 6. What is in the glass paperweight which Winston so values? Coral.
Mattresses were brought up from the cellars and pitched all over the corridors. Meals consisted of sandwiches and Victory coffee, wheeled round on trolleys by attendants from the canteen. Each time that Winston broke off for one of his spells of sleep, he tried to leave his desk clear of work.
If the machine were used deliberately for that end, hunger, overwork, dirt, illiteracy and disease could be eliminated within a few generations.
Bernie Helmers, Chapter 10. Please read.
With asterisks. My French-speaking dog, no. When he woke, it was with the sensation of having slept for a long time. But a glance at the old-fashioned clock told him that it was only 20:30. He lay dozing for a little while. Then the usual deep-lunged singing struck up from the yard below. It was only an hopeless fancy, it was...
Page 307.
I've got that on camera too. Oh, did you?
Yeah, it's very. But I thought I had to stay because wonderful readers.
You're
So
away.
Bella will film you as well. And you're here.
So we're going to hear the last bit of the book
Yes.
now read by Ab.
Winston, sitting in a blissful dream, paid no attention as his glass was filled up. He was not running or cheering any longer. He was back in the ministry of love, with everything forgiven, his soul white as snow. He was in the public dock, confessing everything, implicating everybody. He was walking down the white-tiled corridor with the feeling of walking in sunlight and an armed guard at his back. The long-hoped-for bullet was entering his brain. He gazed up at the enormous face. 40 years it had taken him to learn what kind of smile was hidden beneath the dark moustache. Oh, cruel, needless misunderstanding. Oh, stubborn, self-willed exile from the loving breast. 2 gin-scented tears trickled down the sides of his nose. But it was all right. Everything was all right. The struggle was finished. He had won the victory over himself. He loved Big Brother.
A bow, please.